All right, guys. Well, I'm back today with a lever action 357 by Rossi. This is the triple black R92, and it's a threaded barrel, optics ready, large loop design tactical lever action from Rossi. I've wanted to get one of these out to the channel ever since I shot one at the IV88 YouTube event back in October. Got a chance to shoot some other Rossi lever actions through a wide variety of YouTube events and fell in love with every one. Here recently, we've picked up a couple of Rossi lever actions, and one of my favorite places to look for Rossi lever actions is actually Battlehawk Armory and the sponsor of today's video. Now, I found these guys specifically because I was looking for some Rossi lever actions, including the new threaded barrel 22 lever action that nobody else is really doing. When I was searching for the best prices, I found Battlehawk Armory, reached out to these guys, and we've been talking about working together and collaborating, and they were nice enough to send this R92 triple black out to the channel. All of the information will be in the description below and on the campsite page, but the cool thing is they've created a special landing page for my viewers to save you some awesome money, and I'm always doing updated daily deals on my Instagram and Patreon page, so definitely check out the campsite page for more info on that. But enough talking, let's get into the overview and why I like this rifle so much. Now, there's definitely positives and negatives to something like this high-value triple black. When you're looking at lever actions from other companies, these configurations sell well over $1,000. Now, the cool thing is this one's right at $7.5, so you're saving about $350 over some of the other competitors. And what are you getting for that price, and maybe what are you losing? One of the first things I want to say is, right off the bat, you're not losing fit and finish. When you pull this out of the box, it's definitely on point. This one comes threaded half by 28. I threw a 9mm can on the end, ran some New Republic ammo, their 38 special. This is some of their 7.62 by 39, and it ran great down at the range with no issues whatsoever. Now, we also ran some 357 mags through this, and again, it functioned really, really well. I also ran some Callaway Ballistics 38 special through this, and it was incredibly quiet with that can on the end because generally 38 special is going to be subsonic exiting the barrel, and being the fact that this is a closed breech design, you're getting a really quiet lever action firearm, and that's one of the main things that I like about this setup. It's the shorter 16.5-inch barrel with the threads on the end, allowing you to be incredibly nimble but still pack a punch with 357 Magnum if you wanted to hunt deer or larger game with it, or utilize this as a ranch rifle and save your hearing. Now, when you move on back, you notice the black furniture. It's got a texture to it, but it's still classic and elegant looking. It's not a M-LOK rail system or pick rail system. It's just a nice furniture set. Again, very nice texturing if your hands get a little bit wet, and you have the rail system on top with the peep sight on the back. Now, I really like this, and I've actually been shooting a few Rossis with this rail system. It's more of a scout mounted rail system forward of the action itself because this is a top eject gun and you can't mount anything on the upper receiver. So that takes a little getting used to. If you wanted to add like a scope or something like that, you'd have to utilize a south scope. So some other rifles on the market really move that rail a little bit further back and maybe do side eject, but this one is pretty darn good, especially for what it does. Now, one thing to note, out of all the Rossis I've ever shot, this rail has been rock solid, dead true. This one seems to be just a touch askew, but when you mount the red dot, it was perfectly sighted in. The peep sights were hitting where they wanted to. It might be just me being a little bit nitpicky. But again, we are talking about this rifle versus other competitors' rifles coming in at well over $350 to $400 more than this. So you are going to notice some differences between something like this Rossi and maybe another more premium lever action rifle. But honestly, when you pick this up, it truly feels like a premium lever action rifle. Now, when you're talking about the loading gate, it works fairly well. It did take a little bit of using to work itself in, but once it was worked in, you could easily load the rounds with no issues whatsoever, and I tried a wide variety of rounds, including the Callaway Ballistics, New Republic, and a few other odds and ends I had. You are going to have to use more rounded nose, but I used some flat nose designs, and it fed and functioned great with no issues, which gets me back to the action itself, and honestly, where the Rossi really shines. The actions on these guys are great. If you've ever heard that you have to work an action really hard to get a lever gun to work, a lot of times that's true depending on which model you purchase, but honestly, every Rossi I've shot down at the range, I've never had any issues working the action, whether it's 45 long Colt, 22 long rifle, or 38 special 357 Magnum, or even some of their 4570s I've fired. The actions are just incredibly smooth across the board. The hammer is really easy to cock. This is a top eject design like the other ones I've shot, and it really does kick the shells away from the shooter, and it never interferes with anything. The safety on this is a little bit odd, but it works. So that safety right there, you actually will rotate on the top of the bolt action itself, and now it is safe, and it has that hammer disconnect right here, so it actually will hit that transfer bar or stop so it doesn't hit the firing pin. When you flip that off, it goes all the way down and meets up with the firing pin and fires the rifle. So that is how the safety works. Again, a little bit of an intricacy there, but it's because of the way the action and breech loading works. So that's just something to consider. The large loop design is really nice. They have this almost polymer stripping woven in here, which does a pretty good job of protecting your hands. And the large loop design is incredibly nice. If you want to spin or flip this, I can't actually recommend that or say you should do that, but it is possible. Definitely don't do that. Definitely don't spin and flip your rifles. Always keep them pointed in a safe direction. But with the large loop design, it's possible. The stock on here also has nice texturing. It's very ergonomic. There's no pinch points or closure points when you're working the action itself, so it's very easy to utilize down at the range. And on the rear, you have a sling swivel and a rubberized butt pad. Now, I love the rubberized butt pad. It's very grippy. It captures your shirt or your body or your plate carrier if you were running a lever action with a plate carrier, but it's a good butt pad, and when you're resting it on something, it's not going to slide around. In summary, the Rossi R92 series of lever actions, especially for the price that Battlehawk Armory has them for, are some of the best options for that price range. There's nothing I see in this price range competing with what Rossi is doing. Are there going to be some intricacies that are different from the Rossi to some other things like the Henry or Winchesters? Yeah, there's going to be differences, but this review hopefully gives you a fair and honest evaluation of the product for the price point, and I've fallen in love with the Rossi design. I am becoming a Rossi fanboy. Just across the board, they are producing some really good stuff. And again, a huge shout out to Battlehawk Armory. Definitely check out that campsite page on my Instagram for more info on those guys, as well as special opportunities only available to my viewers. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.